Hello, so this is going to be a quick demonstration of how Mithraism pops up throughout the ages as the hypostasis of various modern world religions, particularly the Abrahamic faiths, but something that's to be seen literally throughout all major world religions right now. So, this particular paper is Yahwism under the Achaemenid Empire, and it's a compilation of work by various authors. It's sort of a syncretic, or what would be the right word for that? A syncretic work done by multiple fields where they're trying to combine all of these different areas of research so that they can really demonstrate the underlying connections throughout history, as you would expect, right? I mean, it's just common sense. But what I wanted to hone in, it only takes a split second, so let me just come down here. All right, so this paper opens up with an entry by Gad Barnea coming from out of Israel itself. It's in reference to a document known as P. Berlin 13464, which is known as the Passover document, the Passover papyri. But while he's addressing that specifically, what I'm going to hone in on is a Mithraic dedication. So as you can see here, it's Yahwism and Achaemenid Zoroastrianism, abbreviated AZ, Elephantine. Elephantine, if you're not familiar, was an island, quote unquote, in the first cataract of the Nile, facing modern day Aswan, what was anciently known as Syene, and it was a sort of, I would say, refuge, but it was more than that. It was a major cultic center for ancient uh, Levantine immigrants, specifically coming from out of Palestine. But it's from Elephantine that we receive most of the documents that are used for these comparative analysis and whatnot to establish these interconnections of various religions. All right, so as you can see down here, continuing downwards, there was a. Here, I'm going to read this first bit. I'm just going to read through this so you can see what I'm saying here. The island of Elephantine, facing modern-day Aswan, historical Syene, on the first cataract of the Nile, hosted a remarkable settlement of migrants from the Levant during the late Sayyid and Achaemenid periods. The founders of this community had originally arrived in the Syene area from Palestine, most probably the middle of the 6th century BCE. Okay, so we come down. Here, they expended significant resources and a lot of effort building a temple for their deity, which was Yahu or Yahweh, claimed that he dwells therein, referred to leading members of the community, both male and female, as servants of Yahweh, had theophoric names based on his, and raised funds for his service. One of the most striking aspects of Elephantine Yahweh's cult is its active syncretism. One of the most striking aspects of Elephantine Yahwist's cult is its active syncretism, showing a dynamic dialogue with Egyptian, Levantine, and Achaemenid Zoroastrian features. It sounds a lot like what I've said before, right? There's a fucking triumvirate between the Hittites, or the Anatolians, I suppose, the Anatolians, ancient Egypt, and the Levant, right? I mean, there's so many different ways to make that comparison, but what it goes to say is that there was a very ancient superpower that saw a syncretic religious, or it hosted syncretic religious viewpoints between all cultures. Like there was no separation from one to the next. And this is why even in modern day, you can still find like no contact, like black tribes in Africa, straight fucking black, worshipping Mithra in the form of Esu, who literally wears a fucking Phrygian cap. Check this shit out. You see what I'm talking about? That's Esu, or Eshu. This is Papa Legba, the fucking Haitian voodoo black guy that wears a top hat that you always see. It's Mithra, right? This is down in Africa, for fuck's sake. Okay, so anyway, back to Mithra, right? What do we have here? A damaged middle part of a larger red sandstone stele was found in Aswan. It was dedicated on June 458 BCE, the equivalent of, right, and contained the following text. This Bars man commander of the garrison of Sain, built in the month of Siwan, that is Meher, in the year 7, year of Artaxerxes the king. God, peace. Okay, so why am I stopping to hone in on this? Because Gad doesn't, while he's doing a fantastic job of establishing all these connections and whatnot, this is what he's saying, an Achaemenid Zoroastrian connection, right? What I'm saying is that this is, the reality is that this is Mithraic, right? When you dedicate something, this stele at Aswan, which is, in his own words, right, world leading scholar, like the most crucial location where all of these documents have come out of, right, giving us a foot in the past. And the stele that they found there is a Mithraic stele. Okay, it says commander of the garrison saying he built in the month of Siwan, which is Meher. They even say this. That is Meher, the month of Mithra, in the year 7. Right, the number associated with Mithra. Do you see what I'm saying here? And then it goes on to determine the character by which Ahura Mazda and Arta, of course, that's because that's Artemis, right? That's fucking Mithra and Anahita. So really, that's it. I'm not going to go through this entire paper or anything like that. I just wanted to point this part out right here, that underlying all fucking world religions, right, is this Mithraic worship. And it's important to point it out in this fashion because it's very clandestine, right? It's not something that's like right in your face if you don't know how to look for it.